sevens team. Miko hapa, as of course I had introduced to you earlier, he's the only rugby legend that I know who was born on Christmas Day. Andrew Amonde, who is the head coach of the national KCB sevens team that's participating in the national circuit 2024. Karibu Amonde, it's good to see you.
Thank you, Tony.
And of course, he is also a coach, strength and conditioning head coach wa the national sevens Shujaa team that represented us at the Paris Olympics. Amonde also was captain of the national sevens team in 2020 in Tokyo. The captain also of the 2016 sevens team in Rio. I hope nimeweka nimekram. Karibu sana.
Asante.
I also have my very good friend Oje. Oje has won in the national circuit. He is the guy. In 2019, in 2023, in 2014, the national circuit, if it was not called the national circuit, it will be under his name. Oje. Karibu sana.
Tony Olympian pia.
Ndio hiyo sasa. We have stars in the house. Remember, this team, they are the defending champions of the national sevens rugby circuit. Nimeisema vizuri. Yes, jakosea hapo. I am a golfer, so sometimes rugby inanisumbuanga akili kidogo. But of course, they're here to share this wonderful story. They are on a break. Of course, the circuit is on this break this particular day. Hata amekuja, wacha atafika kwanza hapa hivi. The reason why KCB are here is because they are just fresh from showing their teeth in the Ukabeberi Sevens. Wamechukua break saa hii. Of course, the following weekend they'll be going to Mombasa for the Driftwood Sevens, and then the completion of the 2024 season will be in Nakuru during the Prinsloo Sevens. Now, also, since he has come in late, he'll introduce himself. Karibu sana, we've introduced Oje. Please now give us your introduction, the best way you know. Na usikuwe serious sana.
Naitwa Dennis Mwanja.
Karibu.
I'm the KCB Sevens coach and also Kenya Lionesses coach.
Karibu sana Mwanja. Sorry for putting you on the spot. Of course, this is a KCB. Of course, they are the hot shots right now in the national circuit. Let me get into it. First of all, in order, you have one of my, there's a bite of Andrew, head coach Andrew Amonde. We were able to capture him saying something about the national circuit. So in order, if you have one of the bites that Amonde shared with us earlier, let's listen to. There will be that in a bit. Yes, let's talk. Let's say the one for next year's circuit.
I think the worst that we can do, it's 3. So I think we'll just pick from there. It's not so far. The margins are not that bad. So if we're able to work our way on the 3 next legs, I think we'll be able to do well as a club.
Head coach, right now we have Harlequins, Cabras, then you in position 3 of the standings, so I'm not wrong. Do you have any chances of defending your title, looking at situations and then, of course, having 2 legs to remain? What are your chances with those other ones being hot on your head?
I think the way the team played the last weekend just shows that there's some maturity and there's growth from where they started. So it's a matter of giving them just chance to walk in, just giving them the confidence to go out and present themselves well again, because there's an opportunity. It's just that chance that we want. If we go out in Mombasa, that will be a plus to us. So it's just a matter of focusing on ourselves. We don't want to focus on the other teams. So if we're able to focus on ourselves, focus on our team, get everything right and tick all the boxes, I'm very sure we'll go places. We'll be able just to defend the championship if we do well.
And Oje, of course, you are a legend in this sport, Oje. You've been there, you've seen it all in rugby. KCB, the support, the sponsorship, the nurturing, that ile tu kwa just giving you that comfort of that there's someone supporting you. How important is it for the growth of rugby and also for the players in KCB?
I think that's very important. As a group, we are very privileged and honored to have backing of the bank, full sponsorship from the bank. With that being said, you always go out and want to perform to the best of your abilities, because you know you have someone who is going to go above and beyond to ensure that you are well prepared, well catered for, all the facilities and the equipment that you require, all your allowances and everything is sorted out in good time. So that's always, as a sportsman, that's very, very good and motivating. And the mere fact that you don't have something lingering in your mind on whether you're going to be facilitated or not makes you just zone into the play and want to do your best every single time.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Head coach Mwanja, your own analysis of how this season, I would want to say the sponsors, but nikisema sponsor wa hiyo, you know, the current one sponsoring our show, I can be put naweza nyimwa mshahara na unaona mwisho wa mwezi imefika. But of course, the national circuit from Christie all the way to where it is right so far, how will you compare it to last season's competition?
I would say we started off slow. Finally, I think we've got to the business end of things. For us, when we played, we stumbled on the first assignment.
Yes.
We had the hopes in the Christies to defend it, but as we all know, the Sevens circuit is a marathon. So how you pick up yourselves really matters. It's not really how you start, but how you finish. Many times we've seen teams stumbling in the last two sets. So Mombasa is going to be a make or break for many teams. It's like a marathon, that last turn where you expect the person setting the pace to finish, but then there's someone who just emerges from somewhere and takes the lead. This time we are really quietly confident, but we're not getting ahead of ourselves when it gets to that game. We want to take a game at a time. We don't want to look at other teams. Just take care of our own home, first of all.
True indeed. Mwanja is being very diplomatic in the words, because we just had diplomats on on the previous segment of this particular show.
Yes, yes.
I also have another another up sound of Andrew Amonde speaking about Onyala. So in order, if you have that, please, can we listen to it before I ask and put Andrew Amonde on the spot about the challenges this season and they look forward to?
Onyala is expected to be with us from when we go back to Nairobi. I think we expect him to be join the team back when we go back to Nairobi. So it's also another addition that we are going to bring into the team. So we'll keep on building. I know he'll bring a different environment and he'll bring a different kind of play that he plays. So he'll also be a big boost to this boy. So I think we'll just go higher. We'll keep on building. We've gone down 5th, so we must get better than 5th.
And just one before Monday, you share into that, coach. This is also what Coach Amonde said about the Dala Sevens.
Unfortunately, we were not able to defend our trophy in Dala. Big lessons for these boys. They have picked from Dala. So it's a matter of respecting your opponent and playing to your strength. So I think we battled a little bit at the end of it. And the good thing they have picked up, they played very well. So I hope we've learned a lot from this tournament.
You are the defending champions of Dala. What happened?
Yeah. I think we fell short in Dala. And this is something that I think it's the transition that we were talking about, exposing everybody, giving everybody a chance to play. So we fell short, and as a team, we know that, and that is why we've gone back to the drawing board. We've come back with strategy. Luckily, it worked for us in Kabeberi. So the lessons that we've picked from Dala and in Kabeberi, so if we're able to bring them together and go back to the drawing board and get a world-proof team, we'll be able to go out and present ourselves very well in Mombasa. So we'll keep on working. I know it's not going to be easy. Everybody's going to come out and knowing very well that we won the last tournament. Everybody's coming on us. So I think we'll just push our limits. We'll work very hard. We'll come out. We'll present a very good side that we presented in Christie and try and go all out in the next tournament.
Indeed. OJ, you love Dala Sevens.
Yeah.
This time round KCB, nani aliwaangusha? Nini ilifanyika? Wewe ni ule legend wa Dala. So those last until of course last year 2023. Nini uliona ilikuwa one of the things?
I think as you can hear from both my coaches, mostly the tournaments we played have acted as a moment of self-reflection for us as a team. because we usually pride ourselves in being the team to beat. Every single time we walk out, we usually have no doubt on what our capabilities are.
Yes.
So the mere fact that we came up short in the first 3 tournaments, it wasn't about us looking at how opponents were operating or how good they were, but it was a moment of self-reflection because we were not ticking the right boxes or we were falling short in some of the things we wanted to do. So I think it's been the last 3 tournaments that we lost we lost them with very close margins, and it just acted as an eye-opener on the snooze you lose aspect of the game. So we just needed from Dala, which was a very, very painful loss because it's, as you said, it's been a traditional tournament for KCB to win. We just had a moment of sit down and self-reflection and just talk to each other to see how best we can tweak those small things that keep ailing in our game, because we had a very good day 1 in Dala Sevens. By the time we ended day 1, everyone was confident that we were going to go over the hump on the second day, but we fell short. So I think that was a turning point for us as a team. And being able to understand your weaknesses and being able to make those adjustments is what led to us winning Kabiberi. And we're not going to take our foot off the pedal now. We're just going to keep improving in the small things that we need to do, and hopefully we'll see it through. Yeah.
Indeed. And of course, Coach Mwanja, let me bring you into it. I have a viewer who requested me to ask. They are very passionate about golf. They are in high school, one of the schools in Western Kenya. They just wanted to know how can they join KCB Rugby Football Club, either for the 15s or for the 7s. That's someone who is anapenda rugby sana. So what are the channels? How does the scouting happen for KCB?
They could get in touch with the club, the team manager, and depending if they finished school. If they've not finished school, once they get in touch with the team manager, we could monitor them. So we have a few people who are looking out for us in regional development officers in Western, who always will point out good players. But on the other hand, if they're in Nairobi, they could easily just walk into the club, introduce themselves. But now we cannot get into the main team immediately. We have the suburbs who are the academy side. They can always start there. But it's always an automatic, it's an open door. If they are good enough, there's nothing that will stop them from being picked into the team. So we have players who are in suburbs. We picked some from Musingu back then, who came and played and ended up getting snapped up by Catholic and Strathmore, getting in scholarships, which we are always open for. So as long as they come to KCB, they are our players. If they are good enough, opportunities open for them, they can be picked by anyone. And if still we can retain them, the better for us.
Indeed, true. Just before I let the crew leave, I will not miss to ask this question about the Paris Olympics. Andrew, of course, Andrew Amonde was the coach for strength and conditioning for our national team, Shujaa, for the Paris 2024 Olympics. Coach, kulienda, your own analysis from that, for your lessons. But of course, we cannot take away them, Andrew Amonde, Kevin Wambua, having taken Kenya back to the World C7 Series.
I think the way we summarize Paris was, I think it was an eye-opener also for us. We exposed a very young team at the Challenger. We were able to carry on, qualify for the Olympics, go to the Olympics. I think the big thing that the boys learned, playing with the top teams that play in the circuit. So they've picked their lessons. We've also seen some of the things that we need to work on to be able to prepare the team for the circuit. An Olympic is not an easy sport to just walk in and win. So I think they've realized that, and the experience that is needed to go all out in the Olympics. That is something we are going to use to build the team for the next circuit, and the lessons they've picked and the exposure they were able to get at the Olympics is a big margin for them. So I know there are different players from before they went to Olympics and now they've come out. We only had 2 experienced players at that Olympics. So I'm very sure when we go back to the next Olympics, we'll be having more than 10 or 12 players.
Indeed, that's true. Yeah. And OJ, of course, you've seen how Amonde has, from player to flag bearer to captain to now coach. OJ, unaona aje future yako ya rugby, unaona aje? Wamekuita huko nje, tunasikia fununu umeitwa mahali. Hizo ni stories zangu za jaba.
Hizo stories za jaba. But Andrew has always been that mentor for me in my rugby career. Yes. So nimecheza na yeye. He's taken me through the KCB, through the national teams. I played under him, and even through the leadership in the build-up. So rugby, definitely, if you're a rugby man like myself, you want to transition into other things. And I've definitely transitioned in as a coach in small capacities as I still play. I'm coaching in an international school. I've done Northern Suburbs ladies rugby as a coach. So I'm definitely looking forward to transitioning into the technical team later on, once nimemaliza. But for now, bado tuko na unfinished business. And as I still play the sport, I think I want to still give it the best shot and put the club, which is KCB Rugby, at the highest point. So by the time natoka, tutakuwa transition the new generation and taught them the winning culture that the clubs bring.
It's true indeed.
Yeah.
Head coach, as we wind up, Mwanja, shout out. A very important shout out. You know, KCB as a management team, it's very important to recognize their efforts and their work. A very good friend of mine called Owila, please. Mpelekeni salamu zangu sana. Mia Owila sana, tafadhali nitamuuliza kama. But of course, the management team, shout out to them. Of course, those who actually are the engine behind. Nyie ndio mko pale, but kuna watu hapa.
Yes. First of all, we really appreciate our sponsor, KCB Group, the support. I would say we are envied by many. KCB has set the bar so high that I think national teams, corporates should take up and pick a few lessons from there. And we have this culture in KCB, a winning culture. And that belief, when the Sevens captain talks about teaching the winning ways, we are very convinced we are supposed to be winning. So it's not about trying. We're very, very convinced. When you don't win, we feel sick. And everyone expected us to win in Kisumu. And we also expect ourselves to win. So that's a culture which needs to be passed on and repeated. We appreciate our fans, more so our traveling fans who go to Kisumu. And even more importantly, our family, close people, loved ones, and the people who've been with us through the times. Genuine fans are the ones who, when you're losing, they're still there to cheer you. So we appreciate especially those fans who stuck with us during our dark times in the recent past. And we are looking at brighter times coming. And as we continue, just people who support us and turn from other teams and become new fans, we continue showing the love and appreciate it.
Dennis Mwanja, head coach. Watu wazito wa KCB. Jacob Oje, legend. Kijana maboboya. Ama nakufanyia makosa nikuita kijana.
Kwa hii panel mimi ni kijana.
Uko sio bwana.
Jenzino ananiita mzee. Jenzino ananiita mzee.
Jacob Oje, thank you very much. Of course, head coach Andrew Amonde. Asanteni sana, really, for making time for our show. I really appreciate for your patience. Asante sana. And you're welcome here again and again. Nyinyi marafiki zetu.
Asante.
And Brian, of course, who was able to assist and facilitate this interview. Brian, wherever you are. Asante sana. The entire KCB fraternity. Mungu abariki. Keep on doing what you do best. This is, of course, Sports Extravaganza. Tony Kwalanda here. We're taking a very short break. I'll be telling you together with my gang. My gang is very mad at me. Celine, Waidhira, and Tabitha Makome and Joseph, they are here. They are on my face. They are like, Tony, we are supposed to speak about EPL. Arsenal is iko na mama yake. Chelsea kimeumana, transfer window imefunika jana. We'll be talking about that in a few. But then mna support timu gani? Arsenal ndio huyo Andrew Amonde Oje.
Arsenal.
Kwani watu wa KCB nyote ni
Arsenal? Watu ni Arsenal.
Mimi support timu yote
yenye inacheza
yenye watu wa support.
We're taking a short break, we'll be back.